State contractor left its own landlords trying to get paid.
Its mother and daughter owners have a trail of bankruptcies and evictions and bounced checks. Wave News troubleshooter Mark Stevens says the company's rental history has followed a similar pattern.
Renting is pretty straightforward. You sign a lease, pay the deposit, and pay the rent. But the mom and daughter duo behind the Corporate Family Solutions Network found excuse after excuse to do none of the above, leaving their landlords trying to recover thousands and fighting to kick them out.
We have been hoodoos.
She just continues to find different people after people, landlords, and to do this to.
Your Honor, they've taken possession of the property, so it's ridiculous for them to sit there and say they don't have a lease at this point.
In late summer, we shot video of a moving container and U-Haul parked outside of two different properties being rented by the same company. The company is called the Corporate Family Solutions Network, and according to its Facebook page, it says it helps people find jobs. Court records show it also owed these landlords more than $89,000.
I want to do a corporate lease. My company's going to pay for all the rent, and it's easy money. They'll send it to you directly every single month.
Landlord Sonny Steyer says employee Ashley Young moved into Steyer's rental house on Timberwood Circle this summer.
She gave us all the information, her CEO's number. She told us more about the staffing company that she has.
But Steyer says after Young moved in, there were nothing but problems. Her CEO crossed out much of the lease and they ended up never signing one. Then the checks for the first month's rent and security deposit bounced, which she included as evidence in court. And then she says Young, who's listed as the chief financial officer in the company's corporate records, couldn't give her a straight answer.
She said it had to go through another process to get approved to have a second check issued to us. So that dragged out. And I realized later, looking back, that it was a series of delays that she always seems to do just to get more time in order to stay for free.
Steyer never got a penny, and when she brought these allegations to court to evict, she had to battle the company's CEO, Patricia Connor.
The CFSN has never had a lease. They could not come to an agreement on a lease.
Ma'am, when you're in the property, you don't get to say that.
How do you sleep at night? How do you do this to people? You've hurt our family financially so badly.
Connor argued her company shouldn't be involved, but it's her initials marking up the first version of the incomplete lease. Someone wrote in Ashley Young's name as an additional tenant, and the company initialed the pages too.
This is an eviction.
Right.
If a monetary judgment is entered against you at some later date, then you can certainly sue your daughter if you want to.
And as we dug further, we found Connor, Young, and other child care businesses and their names have been taken to court 28 times, dating back to the late 90s. In one case, Connor and another business partner were ordered to repay $468,000 after failing to pay rent for a daycare they opened in 2009. Young was also listed as a guarantor on that lease. Connor and Young have filed for bankruptcy protection multiple times, but the cases have repeatedly been tossed out for not following the process or filing required documents. In one case, a lawyer representing a homeowners association convinced a bankruptcy judge to toss out a case Connor filed in 2014, saying her bankruptcies were only meant to stop the authorities from foreclosing on the house she was living in.
It looks like this is a failure to pay rent situation as well.
Connor told one eviction court her company could pay rent late because it was a state contractor and wasn't always paid on time. State records show the company provided job placement searches for the disabled in 2018 and 2019, earning a little more than $15,000.
My contract so stipulates that I'm allowed to pay late if I pay a late fee.
Typically what you're saying is not accurate.
In the lease, there's a provision for late fees for late payment of rent. It doesn't say that, we won't ever evict you as long as you're going to pay.
Bobby Joe Roberts is the latest landlord to open an eviction case against Young and Connor. Young moved into her property after Corporate Family Solutions was evicted by Steyer. And Young again asked for a corporate lease.
The check's in the mail.
Okay, and we got them in right now.
Oh, yes, right now, today.
She filed the eviction in mid-December after getting nothing for 2 months of rent and the damage deposit.
She owes me $9,000.
So we stopped by the house, and what do you know? A moving truck.
There's my skeleton.
Also, the same car from outside Steyer's house earlier in the summer. But no one would answer the door. so I called their business number.
Hi, this is Mark Stevens calling from Wave News. Trying to reach Ashley Young or Patty Young or Patty Connor or Patty Malone. Working on a story about Corporate Family Solutions and its track record of not paying rent.
A lawyer called me about an hour after that phone call.
Again, I was trying to get a hold of either Ashley, since she's not only the registered agent, but also a director of the company, or her mother, who's listed as, I think, the president or CEO.
Connor and Young agreed to an interview when their lawyer was available. We set a day, but they canceled 24 hours before the interview was supposed to take place.
That does happen sometimes. Now, Young and Connor are due in eviction court again at the end of January. Mark Stevens.